Hey folks, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request for Lucas. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, tier lists, rankings, video game playthroughs, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. Now, Lucas, very nice guy, had requested me to do a commentary on Revenge of the Sith. Now, I do apologize in advance. I will be eating while doing this because I'm very behind for today, because I recorded about 5 hours of stuff, and because the stuff that was not in my control, that 5 hours of material is now gone, reviews and stuff, so I now have to re-record it again. So, don't do this, don't want to do those reviews. And it's already like 6:30 p.m. so it's going to be a long night, but it is what it is. So I'm going to eat while I'm doing this, because again, I just on a bit of a time stringent thing, so apologies once again. But for those who do want to follow along, I paused right when the Fox logo has popped up. Thank you once again, Lucas, for your kindness and generosity. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. So there's the Fox logo, and it's going to fade away now, and then you have the Lucasfilm Limited logo, and that fades away now for syncing. And Star Wars, a long time ago in Galaxy Far Away, so that's the syncing. So, again, apologies. Now with, like I said on the commentary for The Phantom Menace, I did see all 3 of these in the theater when it came out. And The Phantom Menace I still feel is the best of the 3. I do like that there's a bit more practical sets and model work done in that compared with the other 2. Also, it's a story to watch by itself. It has a beginning, middle, end. While the second one has a little bit of a cliffhanger ending, and then this one, you definitely need to see the others to understand a bit of what's going on. Now, Revenge of the Sith, I know, is considered kind of the favorite of the 3. As years has come and gone, I've liked the film less and less. I don't mind it, it's okay, but I don't like it like I used to. And even back then I thought it was okay, but it's there. It's not a film I rewatch. I do things a bit lengthy. And also just with other prequels, even when I first saw it, you know where it's going. You know Anakin Skywalker is going to be Darth Vader. You know that Padme is going to have to die after she gives birth to Luke and Leia. That's why she's not in the other films. You know Yoda and Obi-Wan's not going to die because they'll be in Star Wars Empire and Return of the Jedi. So you kind of know where it's going. You know the clones have to be the stormtroopers, and Palpatine will be the Emperor. So it's just, and people say, well, it doesn't matter, it's about the how. You may know the when, but not the how. But that's the thing with me in these prequels. I never cared about the story of Anakin Skywalker. I never did. The story of Anakin Skywalker and how he became Darth Vader, that was never an appealing story to me. The appealing story was Luke, Leia, and Han Solo, those characters. And I'm one of those guys that wanted to see the further adventures of them. Now, yeah, eventually you kind of, but not really, because when you got to Force Awakens, the actors were too old, the characters put on into the back, these new characters took the reins, and then just became a rehash, reheated regurgitation of those old films, rip-offs of those old films. I'll give the prequels this, at least there were new ideas, new locations, Naboo, Coruscant, etc. I'll give like this, like it really shows the epic scale where the camera's moving along. You just see just how much action and how much warfare is happening. So, you know, there's some good moments, and the CGI I think holds up pretty good compared to, I think the CGI here looks better than some of the modern Marvel and movies of that like. Ant-Man, Quantumania, I think the CGI on this looks better. Of course, I always forget the actor's name, but those are the clones of Jango Fett. And of course, will be the stormtroopers. Which, I mean, I never even see Boba Fett, the TV show, yet. Surprised I haven't been requested that. And we have Hayden Christensen. Now, I know there are people who like Hayden Christensen, who enjoy him. I never liked him. And even after this, he hasn't really done a lot of prominence. What, Taters? He was in Jumper, which I wasn't even a fan of that. Yeah, you do have this big battle that opens up the film and gets people interested, at least. I'll try at least cover my mouth so you're not watching me jaw jacking. But yeah, the Hayden Christensen I was never a fan of. I did not think he was charismatic. I did not think he was the right guy for the job. Granted, the dialogue written for him is not the best. But I thought Ewan McGregor did a really good job as Obi-Wan. I could see the connection between him and Alec Guinness. They grow up become Alec Guinness. He had a charm to him. I think Ewan McGregor's performance as Obi-Wan is one of the best parts of these three films. I really do. Cool to see R2-D2. So more than likely, they wiped their memory and stuff. Why they wouldn't just destroy them altogether? And why take the time to wipe their memory? Why don't you just destroy them? I think I remember them really fucking up this droid. Like, yeah, tearing his head off like a damn sardine can. Because R2-D2 did a couple badass moments, which is cool to see. I like R2-D2. The more exuberance of Anakin Skywalker, how he's helping his mentor, which of course by the end there'll be the big fight. Whatever critiques I have about this film, I will still say I like it more than Disney Star Wars films. I'll at least say that. At least this is trying to bring new ideas into it. And not stuff like a Jedi flying through space like she's Space Mary Poppins. Or, oh, yeah, I have, thanks to the Emperor blood or whatever the hell reason, I can now heal people from pretty much death. Bring people back to life. Here's R2-D2 getting a moment to shine, which is nice. Obviously, when they did stuff to him, they took all these gadgets away. That's why he doesn't have any of them in the original films. But then it's like, why go through all that trouble? Why not just get rid of the droid and have another random droid? But, you know. That's just me. But yeah, this came out 2005. By this point, even then, it was a little bit tiresome to see them destroy these same type of robots because they were such easy pickings. No sweat, no issue, no troubles. But they're just, cannon fodder. I mean, Ewan McGregor, he has a little bit of that twinkle in his eye playing the character. Which I saw the first episode of that Obi-Wan show. Fucking garbage. Now, General Grievous, interesting idea for a villain to be like this robot, but yet he has health problems, so he definitely has some organic stuff to him. But yet, enough for a robot he to survive space, because I think he gets blasted or goes out into space later. Just takes him out like nothing. I said these are films I don't really rewatch much. I think I do have them still on DVD. Never bothered to get them on Blu-ray. Because in the second one, Attack of the Clones, I never liked. Even when I saw in the theater. The first one, I think it's watchable, and this one is somewhat watchable, but they never yearned to rewatch these movies. To repeat myself, I just don't care about the birth of Darth Vader. Just not a story that entices me. And then Hayden Christensen, I don't like. I think he's a terrible actor. I don't give a flying fuck about Anakin Skywalker as a character. I cared about Luke Skywalker, but I don't give a fuck about Anakin. I think if at this time period you worked a deal out with Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill, you see the continuing adventures of Luke and Leia and Han, I think that would have been very appetizing. That's just the way I look at it. But then that's just me. We'll get another moment of R2-D2 being a badass. Which again then makes you go, well, how come he didn't do that in this? What? More likely they took the shit away. I do remember some people like getting a kick out of this. Like, oh shit. This is a cool new toy for R2 to have. Oh yeah, this is where they're going to have the remeasure of Count Dooku, Christopher Lee. Because in Attack of the Clones, well, I mean, you guys have seen it. You know what happens at the end of Attack of the Clones. It was cool that Christopher Lee was in these. You tell a lot of times, well, I mean, especially in the fight scenes, they had to just put a CGI Christopher Lee head onto the body. Obi-Wan does get his ass kicked, though. But I will say with these movies, they do give Obi-Wan moments to shine. Fighting Darth Maul in the first one, or Phantom Menace, Grievous in this one, fighting Jango Fett in the previous one. Of course, this is all a spiel to see who's better, Dooku or Anakin, and Anakin to be better, and a taste of the dark side, which is cutting this guy's head off. That always looked goofy to me when he lowered that thing and it slid onto Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't even know why they did that. Just not like this big deal where he's trapped and oh my god, we don't have enough time and can I lift this thing? Can I use the force and lift this thing or anything of the sort? No. And you just have him knocked out for the rest of the fight. It's not like, oh, he's trapped so he can't get away, he can't do anything because he's trapped. No. Just have him be knocked out. Now, Dooku obviously knows that, oh shit, I just got betrayed here. Now, why don't you start talking? Why don't you explain to Anakin what's going on? Like, explain to him. Say something. Why he does not say anything, I don't know. I mean, I get that you're probably in shock for getting your hands cut off, but you can still say something. You don't turn on me, I'm going to nickel and dime you. Turn a dime on you, tell on you. And you think Anakin would also be a bit unsure about this guy when he keeps telling, oh, leave Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just leave him. And I'm like, you don't think that's a bit weird that, you know, this guy's telling me to do this? I don't know. I always thought these prequels also kind of made the Jedi look pretty stupid. That all this time, y'all got played for a fool. Y'all got played for a fool. And didn't realize this guy was under your nose the whole time. Makes Yoda look a bit stupid. Makes Mace Windu look a bit stupid. At least to me. I get that they explain the power of the dark side of the Force, all that other stuff. Now, when R2-D2's fallen here, I don't know why he doesn't use his boosters anymore, or have they run out of fuel juice to do that? Like, why doesn't he use his boosters here and then float away or whatever? Maybe he feels if he uses it, the thing up top would hit him or something? Maybe. I can only assume that. Yeah, get off my pants. What are you doing? Get off my pants. God damn it. Up here they go. Yeah, when more and more of these action scenes just get more and more CGI, it just takes me a bit out of it. And thank God that one elevator door was open from this went into. Yeah, sorry about the munching. Again, I think Obi-Wan, I think Ewan McGregor does a good job. I just do not think Hayden Christensen has the banter and the chemistry with Ewan McGregor. He's just fucking terrible. God damn, get the shit out of him like he owed you money. But yeah, Phantom Menace, like I said, I can enjoy. I think Darth Maul is cool. Liam Neeson is cool. I like the lightsaber battle at the third act. I think it's the best lightsaber battle in the whole franchise. The most emotional one to me is Return of the Jedi, but technically the best one I would say is Phantom Menace. Of the trilogy of the prequels, it has the best score. Duel of the Fates. Yeah, I like that they use a bit more practical stuff in Phantom Menace. I was like, how the fuck did R2D2 do all this? Then definitely stuff that was taken away when you get to the original films. And yeah, I do appreciate that George Lucas, there's like these enemies are different. Trying to put a little bit of variety. Like they'll keep fighting it even if their heads are cut off. Yeah, this is when he goes out the window. Then General Grievous, interesting aesthetic for a villain. I think that he's robotic. He obviously can feel some issues again with the breathing problems and stuff, but I didn't talk much about Attack of the Clones because I do think that film sucks a big amount of dicks. Because he introduced Hayden Christensen. I've talked ill about him a lot already, and I'm sure will many other times throughout this. I think he's just fucking terrible. No charisma. I think that the love story has no sparks to it, no chemistry between him and Natalie Portman. The dialogue is terrible. I don't like saying. Neither do I, but you don't hear me bitching about it. The only thing I probably would say I like about it is when you get to that clone planet and the design of those alien creatures who made the clones. And then Obi-Wan fighting Jango Fett. That probably, to me, the only bit's worth the shit. Yeah, Attack of the Clone, you really felt a lot more of the CGI throughout the... Compared with the first one, you saw the jump amount of CGI they used for this movie. I mean, well, for that movie as well as this movie. A large amount. We're crashing, we're crashing. I know I said this with the Phantom Menace, but I never know like when people may watch this and not watch that, etc. My history with Star Wars is growing up, I would say I like Star Trek more than Star Wars in terms of Star Trek. There was the original series, there was the cartoon, the first 6 movies. I like all that. 5, yeah, is flawed, but I like all that stuff. Star Wars, I like the original the best. Empire Strikes Back, I liked okay. Return of the Jedi, I'm a sucker for it because released the day I was born. And other than that, I mean, I didn't follow the comic books. I didn't follow anything of the novels and such until you got the special editions. And, I didn't care for the changes he did. A few, like the Death Star when it blew up, you had that ring expand from the explosion. That was cool. The other stuff, I don't know, didn't do much for me. I don't think they were needed. Could be a fun novelty, but yeah, I think people were upset because you being George Lucas, wanted to replace the originals with that. You wanted to, quote, wipe the originals out to replace it with this. Which is just completely hypocritical of Lucas to do because he's a guy who would fight against colorization of movies, among other stuff, with Ted Turner. When Ted Turner wanted to colorize black and white movies on TNT, and other stuff, George Lucas was one of the people to fight against it. Okay, so when it's films you love that you had nothing to do with it, you don't like them being tampered with. You don't like them being changed. Well, that's because Ted Turner didn't create those. George Lucas did. It wasn't just George Lucas. Irvin Kershner, who directed Empire Strikes Back, the model makers, the costume designers, many, many other people that worked on those films. I always forget Jimmy Smits is in these movies. Of course, Jimmy Smits from NYPD Blue. He was in The Timing Knockers. He was in Bless the Child with, was it Kim Basinger? I always liked Jimmy Smits. It's too bad he didn't have much to do in these. But yeah, because he wanted to replace the original versions with his special edition versions, which a lot of people felt were inferior, now you got people upset in the fandom. You got people angry, upset, pushing back. Of course, they had to do the whole bunions, earmuff hair that Princess Leia has. Almost had to remind people, that's Leia's mom. And then you got to the prequels. Again, there's some that are like, okay, Lucas, let's see what you got. And the trailer was very serious, very epic trailer. And when people saw the film, I think, there are people who liked it. Like me, who I didn't mind the film when I saw it in the theater. There are other films I liked better that year. The Matrix, Fight Club, The Blair Witch Project, among others. But I liked it for what it was. Other people were very mad, and understandably so, because they thought it was much more of a kid's film. And no, the original Star Wars, I don't care what George Lucas or Freddie Prinze Jr. bitching about will say. The original Star Wars, it's not a kid's film. It's not really a kid's film when early on you have this machine that tortures one of your characters, Leia, or getting ready to torture, then cuts away. The very first scene is a bunch of people getting murdered, shot to shit by the stormtroopers. There's a bar where Obi-Wan cuts an alien's arm off, and there's fucking blood next to it on the ground. Han Solo shoots the shit out of someone who's ready to kill him first. Entire fucking planets like Alderaan getting blown to shit and millions and billions of people dying. I don't know if I call that a kid's film. I would not call that, quote, a kid's film. So yeah, when they say that, they're being fucking stupid. I'm sorry, a little bit of dessert. Gummy clusters. I've had nerds, never had these. So. Not bad. Not bad. I'll try not to talk too much with food in my mouth, so apologies. But yeah, this film, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, they made a lot of money and, did well for what their intended purposes were. But yeah, as time went on and you had the Plinkett reviews by Red Letter Media, which for a while there I would watch those reviews and be like, I'm going to repeat what they say. But there's a lot of valid stuff they said in those reviews for these movies. A lot of validity in what they said. These are not films I would defend. These are films I don't rewatch much. I'll rewatch any of the first 6 Star Trek movies over these. But I think one time I recorded reviews and again it was just me reiterating what they said, and I didn't like that. So I took them down. It's like, no, let me speak from my own mouthpiece, my own ideas. Weird scene transition. Of course, the irony of this is he's having nightmares about Padme dying when he's the one who causes it. Which is the irony of it all. You caused your own destruction. You stupid motherfucker. Well, I guess at least he didn't go for the butt in the moonwalk technique. If you ever seen National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, you'll know what I mean. If not, check that movie out. Dude, I know you got that scar above your eye. That doesn't make you more of a badass. See, this type of moment and this type of performance needs a certain level of gravitas to it that I just don't think Hayden Christensen is capable of. Which is why he really hasn't gone on to do a whole lot. I mean, a couple films. Sure, not saying he hasn't done anything, but who gives a fuck? Like, does anyone ever go back and rewatch this movie to see these sequences of Anakin and Padme together? Fuck no. Unless maybe your Star Wars theory. Because I know that guy's a big YouTuber. I think he's like the biggest Star Wars YouTuber. And he loves these films. He loves Anakin Skywalker. I don't give a fuck about him. He's an idiot that became a killer and murdered a bunch of people. Fuck Anakin Skywalker. He's a piece of shit. scumbag asshole. No matter what Yoda says, it don't mean shit. It's all going to be pointless. It's all going to be useless. I remember when the Phantom Menace came out, you had Yoda and they used the puppet. It was not a good looking puppet though. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Because he didn't look like Yoda. I guess they just thought that was what a younger Yoda looked like, but apparently with the Blu-ray, because that's what I use for the... I found a link on the internet to watch it. They went back and redid that Yoda with this CG Yoda. Which I guess made sense in being consistent. That this Yoda looked like the ones in the other two. It's just crazy, like, back in the day, in fucking 1980, they could do a goddamn puppet of Yoda that looked really good. And they could not do that here. In these movies. I get it, when he's in the middle of action, it'd be hard to him jump around and stuff. But a lot, like even that scene there is just him sitting in the dark talking to Anakin. I'm like, but of course, since they made it CG, they made the whole thing CG to be consistent instead of going back from puppet CG. So that's why they do that. So there you go. That's just the way it is. The way it's got to be, just the way it is, the way it is. I have one more, but I'll wait on that. You guys have seen me eat enough, so I get apologies for that. Got an hour and 44 minutes still of this film. So now Anakin has the fear of Padme dying, and that's going to fuel his rage. When he finds out that this guy knows the way to beat death, he's like, I need to know this power. But I guess for me, it's like with the whole dark side of the Force, I'm like, okay, is it like a possession? Because when Mace Windu dies, he just all of a sudden collapses, and then he's like, yeah, I'm going to kill all the children. I'm going to kill all the little kids and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I guess the idea is that it clouds your mind and you succumb to darkness. I think it almost seems like a possession, I guess. There's Samuel L. Jackson trying to get, like it says before, trying to get in any big franchise he can. Marvel, Nick Fury, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Tarzan, Legend of Tarzan, King Kong, Skull Island. I'm sure there's others. I'm trying to think of it. And these Jedi are just idiots because they don't get what's going on. Y'all fucked up, man. Y'all fucked up. Especially when you have so many Jedi and one fucking Sith Lord. Made you all look like chumps. And Anakin just comes off as a whiny fucking brat. Emo dickhead. I'm better than them. I mean, just come off as an emo motherfucker. And the idea is that he could not save his mom, and that affected him very much. So, like, he never knew his dad. Liam Neeson, who was like a mentor, for a brief moment of time, mentor, one who believed in him, he died. His mom died. Now there's the fear of his love or, Padme dying. Just George Lucas was not the greatest at writing characters and writing arcs for characters. Even the original films, Luke, his arc is really kind of completed in the first one. I mean, I guess you could say, well, I guess Empire, he trains to be a Jedi, and then he fucked up at the end. And the third one, he comes back, nah, no more training. Okay. Now you'll become a Jedi at the end. So there's a little bit, to be fair. There's a little bit. Not none. There's a little bit. But yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about now. Well, this one shot definitely shows the scope of the stormtroopers, or at least as they're arising more and more and more. God, these scenes between Anakin and Padme just fucking, in my opinion, fucking abysmal. Just, I don't care about what they're doing, what's going on with them, what's happening with them. I don't fucking care. Truly do not. Because, I already repeated that. I knew this would be a tough one to get through because it's not like it's the worst film ever. It's just, one more. I'll just do what I can. I mean, I just talked a little bit about, the prequels come out, they make the money, they do what they do, successful wise. Actually, critics were not that harsh on these, especially this one. Like, you looked at the Rotten Tomatoes, this in particular, like, had a pretty decent rating. But as the time went on, and people kind of, more and more people changed their ways on, either they stuck with their beliefs or they changed their ways on their beliefs with these films. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're watching. It doesn't look fun to me. I mean, I guess like weird the opera shit, but just a bunch of fucking bubbles. All I see is a bunch of fucking bubbles, and I'm like, this is appealing to people. Seeing this shit? There's a bunch of spit bubbles. This bald chick is obviously enjoying it. Looks like she's fingering herself. with their eyes closed. You know. Yeah, like what the fuck they want? Just lose a bunch of fucking bubbles. Okay, some stuff is going from one bubble to the other. Okay. Okay, well, oh. So this comes out 2005. And there's really nothing for Star Wars for a long... I mean, there's cartoons. There's the Clone Wars. Which some people apparently quite like. The show kind of between... I guess between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. What was going on. And then pretty much... I guess Disney. Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas. And they're like, okay, we are going to bring the continuation of Return of the Jedi. And Han Solo's coming back. And, there's Leia. And there's Chewbacca. And the Millennium Falcon. But instead of take those characters and then do something like this where you have new locations, new ideas. No, they just figure we're just going to repeat the ideas. We're going to repeat the locations. We're going to repeat the trench run and the Death Star. But it's a bigger Death Star. I mean, okay, I don't think that's what people are asking for. Yes, he is the Sith Lord. He is the bad guy. You may be enticed by he can defeat death, but sure brought just a fucking tape recorder and could play in front of the Jedi Council. Look what this motherfucker said. Don't underestimate a tape recorder. See what the fuck this guy's saying? You see how he's talking? I wonder if he would sense his tape recorder. I know this is considered a pretty important scene because it's kind of just the wheels turning in Anakin's head. Not from a Jedi. See, now he's intrigued. Now he's enticed. Yeah, you got the Wookiee environment, Wookiee planet, which they wanted to do in Return of the Jedi, but it didn't work out, and so then it became Ewoks. But be able to put it in this. It just seems like the Jedi just handle this so fucking poorly. Like, be upfront with the kid and do it the way you're supposed to, but just do it in such the dumbest fucking way that it makes the Jedi look so fucking stupid, incompetent, and idiotic. Like, what a bunch of fucking buffoons. There's Chewbacca. Like, how convenient is that Yoda knew Chewbacca, back then? You know what I mean? And that Chewbacca and Yoda, like, moments they were doing, helping each other out and stuff. But it's supposed to be that reveal. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Wow, he knew Chewbacca back in the day. Yeah, it's supposed to be that reveal, that realization for the fans. Just giving people the promise that perhaps they were not getting, didn't get to achieve in Return of the Jedi. That's what I'm talking about. Like, for me, this just drags. And half the time, it seems like with Hayden Christensen talks or converses or looks at Obi-Wan, it's like he doesn't like him. Like, we were really good friends. I don't know. Like, sometimes it doesn't seem like it. Like, it does from Ewan McGregor's point of view. I don't know from, sometimes not from Anakin's point of view. Half the time, Anakin seems like he's just ready to stab him in the back with the looks he gives. He's like, that motherfucker. I know I'm not good at commentaries. There's more of the clones. Yeah, I forget who the fuck this actor's name is. He was in this film called Once Were Warriors. Tamira Morris? Like, Tamira... T-E-M... Yeah, Tamira Morrison? Or something like that? So what, somehow this makes it think as if Obi-Wan's going to kill her or something? Or they don't cheat on him with Obi-Wan Kenobi? I think Anakin just becomes just an emo fucking doofus. Oh, he's gonna cry in the car. So he's about ready to just stamp his foot down. No, I won't do it. No. He's like, shut your fucking mouth. You fucking prick piece of shit. At least so sometimes it feels like you would want to say this motherfucker. I'm so mad. I'm just off tangent that I have to redo the fucking 5 hours reviews. Well, it was 4, really. 4 hours of reviews, but still, god damn it. Didn't have time to do that, but I'll make time tonight, because if I don't, I'm going to be annoyed before I go to bed. Now, this guy here playing this creature, I don't know for certain, but I swear, is this the guy from the Road Warrior who flew the helicopter? And they're like fucking Nosferatus. I don't even know if he would be on fucking... I gotta look it up. God, this gets a 7.7 IMDb. I think that's a little bit fucking high. 7.7. Made 900 million worldwide. Let's see. People outside doing stupid shit. Is Jar Jar Binks in this film and I missed it? Or maybe that's coming up later. God, I can't fucking remember. People outside. Oh my god, I hate people around here. Oh my god, people are just... Rages. This is where, you know, people think I'm really crazy in real life, you know. If that's the case, I would go out, yell, and scream and shout, but I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it and let it go and fucking keep going, man. So yeah, Bruce Spence was that guy. Oh my fucking god, these people need to shut the fuck up before I go in there and punch someone in the face. Of course, it's like this day, just this day, every fucking bad thing gotta happen on this goddamn day. Every fucking bad thing gotta happen. Just one of those fucking days. Sorry, Lucas. I always thought that was cool Grievous had 4 lightsabers. And yeah, I like that Obi-Wan gets these cool moments. Dude, he had cool battles. Darth Maul, Jango Fett, this one. Just to give Obi-Wan some really cool, badass moments. I think Ewan McGregor's able to accomplish that very well. Granted, I don't know how the fuck you're able to, like, you got 4 arms, 4 lightsabers, you still can't deal with a guy with one. I mean, you have 4 lightsabers against one, you can't do it? You must suck ass. Seriously. Well, now it's 2 against 1. As in 2 lightsabers against 1. There's the organic side with the eyeballs and what's behind that mask. So he has robotic tendencies, so it's not really correct to call him a robot per se. He's a creature that has this kind of exoskeleton, exosuit to be able to do this stuff. It's funny as I'm watching this, I'm also reminded of when I played the PlayStation 2 game, Revenge of the Sith. Which I remember, I didn't mind it for what it was. Some of the lightsaber battles were definitely interesting and challenging, to say the least. And you did have to fight General Grievous.
You did? No, they were about to put that. We went to Carrie's at 7:30. What time is it? Right? I'll get right to it. And Bud. How were these? Did you get? Apparently, they were good. No? Why'd you eat 2?
Well, the frosting, wait, the frosting is character frosting,
Yeah.
but it's got frosting.
Really?
What
would you?
This time,
Oh, okay.
I sucked up the frosting first and I go, then I'm filling them up.
Jesus fucking Christ almighty in heaven.
Get into the muffin and I go,
Yeah, family's over too, so that's on top of it.
I know, but it's not eating enough.
So yes, if you're wondering, family is over too, and they have to be loud as fuck. They have to be hooping and hollering. It's funny, they're older than me, and I'm the one that's got to act more like a fucking adult. I don't get it. Sometimes I don't get it. God forbid I'm the only one around me that acts like a fucking adult while they act like they're goddamn 15 years old. I'll just leave that in just because. Don't respect other people's space, don't respect other people's time, don't respect what people have to fucking do. God forbid. Fuck's sake. Anyway, back to this. Like, come on, Anakin, you know who the fuck this guy is. Do something. But no, I need him because I need to know this power about death. Save people from death. Because none of the other assholes want to listen to me. Yeah, this guy ain't hanging it much of any anymore. I mean, can you have like a super futuristic hologram thing to record your conversations here? So you just show them to the fucking. Look what the hell this guy's saying. Look how he's saying it to me. What's the thing someone said about lightsabers? How do you know when you turn on a lightsaber, like how far it will go? Why does it go farther? Are there? I'm sure there are lightsabers that are shorter. Are there lightsabers that are longer? Their laser sword. Yeah, you keep glowering and pouting like a bitch in heat, but yeah, I know some people like Hayden Christensen. They don't mind his performance. They liked it. If I'm not sold on him, I'm not sold on the movie. I think that's a big part of it. I'm not sold on this character. If you don't like Anakin Skywalker like I do, then these films are not going to be your big cup of tea. I like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I like some of the other side characters. I like some of the villains like Grievous and Darth Maul. These action scenes can be fun, although again, are they all-time favorites? Far, far from it. Just wall-to-wall CGI. When you know it's pretty much all on a computer, there's no sense of danger, there's no sense of reality, and it just... I'm not involved with it. Like, I watched Rambo 3. When I watch Rambo 3 and I see real tanks, real helicopters, a real guy on a horse with a Molotov cocktail, running, explosions everywhere, boom, 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 boom. That really dipped me into it because I see it all for real and the danger, like almost like you feel the heat and smell the smoke. Here it's like when you repeatedly over and over again CG, it just become passive participant, for me at least. Again, that doesn't mean there's no action films I like with CGI. Of course not. There's plenty of films, but when you look at my favorite films of all time, like Aliens... excuse me. Thought of CGI made me burp, I apologize. But when the thought of, Aliens and Predator 1 and 2 and Die Hard and other stuff, you just see a bit of a pattern there. I will say that is a badass moment that he's able to use a blaster, shoot him right in the heart. See, the way you remarked about the blaster sounds like something Alec Guinness would or could have said in the original Star Wars. That's why I think that was really good casting. And you tell Ewan McGregor, like, studied. Like, he wanted to follow the cadence of Alec Guinness. I say, Ewan McGregor, I would say he is my favorite part of these 3 movies. Easily. My favorite part. Now, again, Mace Windu hears about this. Why doesn't he tell all the other Jedi? Let's talk to them. Let's do all this and that. Let's converse. Let's get all this info. Let's get together. Let's all of us Jedi get to converge. This is pretty fucking important. But we don't do that. We don't do that. This phone's not charging for some reason. Fine. I looked up some trivia. I'm going to look up the trivia and see if there's anything here. Thank you, Lucas, by the way, for your kindness and for dealing with all this bullshit with I had to eat. I was still miffed up because 4 fucking hours of my work was gone. People and outside family goddamn jamboree. Because they don't want to respect other people. All that shit, man. God damn. But thank you, I do appreciate it. So I'm going to look at some trivia, just curiosity. The original cut of the movie ran nearly 4 hours. The opening battle, Palpatine Rescue alone, ran over an hour. The extra footage of the Palpatine Rescue scene is shown in the video game for this movie, however. Really? In the video game? Really? Wow, the opening battle was an hour, and the original cut of this was 4... Because I think it was, what, 26 minutes? Wow. 4 hours. Damn. Ewan and Hayden trained for 2 months in fencing and fitness in preparation for the epic battle. Chancellor Palpatine comes to power through conflict with the Trade Federation, gains greater privileges through the Clone War, and solidifies his position through war on the Jedi. It's called the Perpetual War. Oh, that sounds familiar. Oh, well, there you go. Ewan McGregor had Lucasfilm make him a looped reel of all Sir Alec Guinness's scenes, so he could study them and perfect both the accent and the pacing of his words belonging to Sir Alec Guinness. Well, there you go. There's got Mace Windu. I guess to be fair, he's not alone, but these Jedi suck ass. Where the fuck did these Jedi get their fucking training? Were they I mean, the McDonald's Playhouse? Sounds like, wow, I get to have a fucking lightsaber fight. Well, there's a little bit of that in Attack of the Clones, but like more of a one-on-one fight get to have here. A 10-year-old Han Solo was going to appear during the Battle of Kashyyyk as an orphan being raised by Chewbacca. He would have helped locate General Grievous by finding part of a transmitter droid that was sending signals, allowing Obi-Wan to find and confront him. Well, they obviously didn't do that. Man, even Mace Windu kicked his ass. Now, some may argue, did he purposely do this because he knew Anakin was coming, and so he wanted to put him in this position to make this choice? So I guess this is to show how his face changed and how he became much more of the Emperor figure himself. I'm like, Anakin, you could talk to Mace and fucking Obi-Wan and fucking or Yoda and figure out what these dreams mean and interpret them. Goodbye, Mace Windu. You know, there are people actually thinking Mace Windu survived that. I'm like, come on, dude. Mace Windu did not fucking survive that. He got his hand cut off, he got zapped, and he got thrown clear across the fucking city. Oh, the imprisoned Palpatine. Oh, okay. In the dual Count Dooku, Palpatine would say lines like, Dooku paid the Tusken Raiders to kidnap, torture, and kill his mom, Shmi Skywalker. Well, that would make more sense to why he was willing to cut the guy's head off. There are over 2,200 visual effects shots, more than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones combined. According to Ahmed Best, there was a deleted scene where before he crowned himself Emperor, Palpatine mockingly thanked Jar Jar Binks for granting him the emergency powers that allowed him to take over the galaxy. Sir Gary Oldman had agreed to be the voice of General Grievous, but pulled out of the movie because it was being made using actors who were not part of the Screen Actors Guild. And Oldman was a member of. George Lucas had previously implied that this movie would explain why Jedi can eventually return as Force ghosts in the original trilogy, but not the prequel trilogy. And the scene where Yoda is seen meditating on the secret asteroid base, he was originally meant to speak with Qui-Gon Jinn, who is heard but not seen. Liam Neeson has said that he recorded dialogue as Qui-Gon to further explain the concept of a Jedi communicating from beyond the grave. The dialogue was not included in the finished movie, nor did it appear in the deleted scenes, but an unfinished version was on the Blu-ray. Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking through this. In the confrontation scene between Anakin and Palpatine, he would explain that he used the technique of his master, Darth Plagueis, to use the Force to wield the midichlorians and starting the cell divisions that created Anakin, even going as far as calling himself Anakin's father. In early drafts of the script, Padme would have survived her confrontation with Darth Vader and gone into hiding with infant Leia on Alderaan, though the plot point would have more closely matched Leia's recollection of her mother in Return of the Jedi. Yeah, because she says she remembers her, but it's like, how? Like, she died when you were born. Padme's death would have to occur off screen, leaving her story unresolved. Well, you're the one who fucking wrote it that way, asshole. Dumb fuck. This the movie stories in reverse order of A New Hope. The first act is a space battle, proceeds with a rescue mission, Anakin realizes his destiny in life, and ending with the Empire taking over. So yeah, here of course we see the Jedi again taken out one by one. Yeah, Yoda's definitely feeling it now. I guess much like Obi-Wan and was feeling it in A New Hope. You know, all those people fucking dying and stuff. I mean, I did like people may find the appeal is that this is more darker because of stuff like this. Them not holding back on that and stuff. I can understand that. It's just that this Jedi dying, I don't really care. Like I don't feel for any of these Jedi dying because I don't fucking know them. And the ones you do know, I mean, other than maybe Mace Windu, Sam Jackson, but these other Jedi you don't fucking know, and you don't fucking care. And the ones you do, Yoda and Obi-Wan, you know they'll survive because they're in the other films. So again, it's like okay, I did, but it's like. Still a nice little moment for Yoda, though. Just the idea of Yoda being on Chewbacca's neck, piggyback. This is definitely the darkest part of the movie, this right here. But they needed the. Well, number one, they were never going to show that in a fucking Star Wars movie. Him actually slicing kids and stuff. Number two, the intention is there. People know what's going on, and it is to really show that he's gone off the fucking deep end. But yeah, apparently every stormtrooper is CGI. I guess the idea being they would all be the same height because they're all clones. So I guess that's the idea behind it. Is that since they're all supposed to be the same age, the same height, all that, then they would all be. If you hired just extras, one would be taller, one would be small. But like that's what they are in the original films. Shorter, taller stormtroopers. Like, what do you CGI all the ones in the older ones? But whatever. And I think that's the issue. Another issue is that characters like Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi, they're restricted because of the story that's already been told. So like Yoda, like these are characters I would love to have seen all sorts of different types of adventures, and they can't do as much because we have to lead up to this. So it's this strict, well, as strict as you can regiment, which is what happens with prequels. It's got to end up to this point. More often than not, you got to do stuff to get to that point. So with prequels, you have more restrictions forced upon you of what you can and can't do. You make a sequel, you do anything you want. I guess other than money being the restriction. Budget being the restriction, of course. Budget, and if the actor you need, want, desire says yes or no. For prequels, though, that's a whole different ballgame. Well, you know, this person can't die, this person can't do this person can't do this, because it won't make sense if you watch the older ones that came out, timeline after that, but were made before that. And it's always the weird thing where you make a prequel and everything looks much more technologically advanced than your original. Because one was made in 77 and 1883, and this was 2005, and etc. Hey R2D2, do you know your buddy is a fucking murderer of kids? Did R2D2 know that? So I guess the idea is that he does this because no matter what, he cannot lose Padme. He feels he goes in this direction. But then it's like at the same time, he believes in the Jedi being evil and all this other stuff. When, who's the guy who just murdered a bunch of kids? That's why this whole thing, like with the dark side and stuff, it's like I get it, but it still seems a bit finicky for me. Other than, okay, this person's possessed. Another spirit, evil force, is controlling them, or I just said he's gone insane. Insanity is like that looked at as insanity. I don't know. I'm putting too much into it than I'm sure I'm supposed to. So fuck it. Yeah, and it didn't get the fuck out. You bastard. God, everything's happened this time. They're having the fucking family members going apeshit crazy as if it's a goddamn riot at Black Sunday. Yeah, I know you heard a cat. If you heard a cat, I know which cat it is. Yeah, I'm not supposed to touch the fucking cat because her back is sensitive. But no one thought to tell the person because people are stupid. People talking outside. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Kids being killed in this movie. Hayden Christensen sucked it up once again, acting wise. Jimmy Smits being Jimmy Smits. CGI Yoda. And then this is another thing, like after the original films, then like there's another fucking bad guy group. There's another empire. What were they called? The Order. Something. What the fuck were they called in the new ones? And they have a Death Star 10 times bigger, 10 times stronger, and another army. It's like, really? It can't be like another force from another fucking galaxy or something? Like, even that, you know? But they're so scared to do more different stuff because, oh no, like, that was not the issue with the prequels. Again, the prequels, despite my complaints, are more watchable than your fucking movies. The prequels did not put Han Solo in the fucking garbage chute after getting stabbed by his punk ass bitch son. It did not make Luke Skywalker disappear because his soul ran out of batteries. It did not make Leia fly around like a space Mary Poppins. These prequels did some stuff, but it didn't do any of that bullshit. And that's why no matter what anyone will say, the prequels I'd rather watch any day over the Disney Star Wars movies. Because it didn't do that shit. Like Alien Resurrection has a lot of issues. It did not kill Hicks and Newt and the actual human Ripley. Alien 3 did that. AVP Requiem has a lot of issues, including not having any fucking lights for us to be able to see what's going on. But you know what? It didn't kill Hicks and Newt and Ripley and Bishop. It didn't fucking do that. So, yeah, that stuff means even more to me. Now, was it Mustafar? You want to say Mustafa, but Mustafar. So I guess the idea is that this is like George Lucas's version of hell. R2D2, do you not have any issues as to what's going on? Like maybe the guy you with is off his fucking rocker. See, like that should have been a thing, like Anakin ready to crush R2D2, and I mean, granted, he couldn't because, or maybe fucks him up, and that's why it lost its memory. Like, it got fixed up because they want to regain in memory. Oh, nope, it doesn't, so then it runs off or something. I don't know. Oh, there's Jar Jar Binks in the back there. So he's going to lie and say the Jedi tried to murder him, and the Jedi have turned bad, and the Jedi have turned on us, and there you go. I mean, wasn't Return of the Jedi the point is going to rebuild the Jedi? But no, we're not going to do that because, you know, Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams, all these idiots, didn't know what the fuck they were doing. It's like he killed a bunch of kids. He's not going to give a fuck about killing you. So now he had eyes there similar to like Darth Maul eyes. I don't think he has them again though. Isn't that like the only time he has those eyes? Or am I wrong? And this bald bitch, like to the to the left of him, like who the hell is that? I mean, she was there before when he was watching the bid spit bubbles with thunderous applause. Yeah, just like real life. Just like real life. They're too stupid to realize what's going on. Welcome to America. Welcome to the real world. The more things they change, the more they stay the same. Not they get too much into politics, but they're fucked. Fucked beyond fucked. And there's still people going, not knowing what the fuck they're doing. It's just the way it is. Yeah, it seemed like Yoda knew. But Obi-Wan had to see for himself. Can you imagine Qui-Gon Jinn, what he's thinking during all this? Qui-Gon Jinn thinking, well, I fucked up. Well, I guess I fucked up big time. Good job, Qui-Gon Jinn. You got the kid who killed a chunk of the Jedi and the children and all this other shit. Bravo. Bravo. This is like one of the... there's not a lot of moments where these two have scenes together, Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman. Because Natalie Portman's character was Liam Neeson's character most of the time in The Phantom Menace. And then she was with Hayden Christensen in the second one. Fine, you don't believe him, Padme? You go to the fucking Jedi and you see the holograms yourself. Trust me, there won't be a line. There's nobody fucking left there. Go see the holograms yourself. Sure brought the fucking hologram with you. I'm sure there's a way to have that in your hand. You fine, you go to the Jedi place. Trust me, there ain't no fucking lines there. There's nobody left. Go fucking see for yourself. So you don't want to believe me so goddamn badly. Asshole. I like them apples, bitch. No. Man, Ewan McGregor, he did. I mean, he did good, man. I think, okay, at the end of the day, if this is the story you want to see, you know, there you go. It just, I think this is what comes down for me. This prequel, the whole gist of the prequel story was not really the story I was interested in seeing in terms of the whole Star Wars universe. Like all the possible stories, all the possible sequels, all the possible bits of continuation. And it becoming Darth Vader is not something I gave a flying fuck about. And for me, I don't think much was gained other than Obi-Wan Kenobi getting to see him do a couple of cool stuff and Ewan McGregor rocking it. Do you have like cool lightsabers in sequels? Luke Skywalker, you know, Mark Hamill, get better, get faster, train more, get to be more fluid. But hey, what can you do? I mean, these wide shots, not bad looking. Considering how powerful the Emperor is, does he even need guards there? You know what I mean? But yeah, Star Wars nowadays is in such a dead state of affairs. I mean, The Mandalorian and Grogu's coming out. A lot of people. I mean, I'm not going to say that film will flop. I think people are just going to be wanting to see something new, wanting to see something to get out of the house from what's going on in life. I mean, it's not going to be some $1 billion movie, I'll tell you that much, but it's not like it's going to make nothing, you know. I mean, I don't know what the budget is. If the budget is a bit high, it may underperform, or it may. I mean, just we'll see, but. Trying to think. But yeah, I mean, the way Star Wars is nowadays, it just. Multiple TV shows that then give a whole lot of shits about, among other stuff. And I don't think there's really a way to fix it. I mean, the way they treat the characters people loved. Luke, Leia, and Han Solo were all treated like shit. Leia had nothing to do, and the thing people remember the most is that ridiculous, goofy ass space flight shit. Luke, he was a total dipshit asshole, throwing lightsabers away, and then battery drained like nothing. Han Solo got punked out by his dipshit son, get thrown into the fucking garbage. You can't do anything to fix that. It's done. It's over. You threw away those characters like right into the trash compactor in the original film. Hayden Christensen just trying to look so tough, like he's just pouting. You're breaking my heart. It's hard to sell that line of dialogue. Natalie Portman is a good actress. I've seen other films she's been in. Even before that, Leon the Professional. After this, I mean, she is good as an actress. I mean, you can't. Sometimes, what was it? Harrison Ford says sometimes you just can't say much of this shit. I love how, Anakin, like, he chokes the fucking lady and then gets surprised that she fucking dies later on. Like, the fuck do you expect? Now, of course, you have the big battle. I guess some would say definitely the biggest scene in the movie. I know it goes on for a bit, this lightsaber battle. I think what it is just the reason I don't love the fight is just how everything just how green screen everything is. How every place, every location, everywhere they looked is just one green screen after another and another and another. Now, I will commend these two guys. Like, they trained a lot. You could tell by the speed. Apparently, this speed is real. Like, they trained for months, repeatedly. So when you see the speed of them going back and forth, that's not, you know, that's for real. In a way, if these were not prequels and it resulted in Yoda defeating and killing the Emperor and then Obi-Wan having to kill Anakin Skywalker, maybe I could like it, believe it, and get into it even more. But of course, I can't do that because that's the thing. Is that it's It's stupid to complain about this because obviously, if you watch the film a second time, a third time, you know how it's going to end. So you go, well, yeah, you won't know the suspense of the scene because you know how it's going to end already. But I mean, just even the first time seeing it, you know, Yoda can't defeat the Emperor. You know, neither of them are going to die. Same with the other fight. So it's like, what are we doing this for? There's no finality too. Usually in a fight scene, there's a finality. One kills the other or puts the other in jail. Here it's like, no, there is no. That was a bit ridiculous. The fact he do with blades up over his head. That's a bit fucking silly. What are you, Neo or Kung Fu? I know Kung Fu. I'm sure this is like, okay, what would have looked like between Yoda and the Emperor? What would have looked like between Anakin and all that stuff? I remember the video game, the PlayStation 2 game, where this fight with Anakin was so lengthy. You went into so many different venues during that fight. It's like you gotta go over here, then you gotta go over there. There's Yoda jumping around like a jumping bean. Like, stay still, you little booger. And just the scene goes on and on and on and on. So I don't know what to tell you. It just goes on and on, and I don't feel much of any emotion from it. Now, there's definitely an epic idea, the Emperor throwing these things down and Yoda jumping around from them. Dave like a damn Hadouken. I mean, he was blocking the electrical, granted, but it was still like a Hadouken. Right back at him. That's the thing, you can't really get a good, satisfying end to this fight. And the ending's like the most important part because gotta leave for the next films. And that's kind of my feeling with a lot of that, you know? And that droid's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And you know what? I really do feel like this lightsaber battle just goes on for way too fucking long. I know it's supposed to be this big. I mean, the fucking documentary on this was of this fight scene. That's what the whole documentary was about. And I think it wasn't even like the full fight scene. I think it was like a portion of it, I think. But compared to the first Phantom Menace documentary, that's a great documentary. That tells about the conception, writing, the casting, pre-production, storyboards, talk with the people, what's going to be CG, what's not, on the set, the actors training with the fake, swords to get the choreography down, the winds of the sets being screwed around and destroyed during the storm. Very good documentary. I think it's called The Beginning. You can find on YouTube. I was hoping for that with these, but no, they didn't even do that. We don't want to do what? You don't want to do what was a really good documentary to show from beginning to end? Okay. Pretty much Yoda admitting he failed. Look how pathetic he looks. Sad face. Don't worry, Yoda. I won't blame you. I blame the fact that I can't do anything to him because he's got to be in the other films. I know. I keep repeating that. It just gets on my. It's just the concept. God damn, this lightsaber feels like it goes on for 5 fucking years. This battle. See, in the Phantom Menace, it was much. I mean, even though it was differentiated with different points of view of little boy Anakin in space and all this other stuff, the Gungans. When you got to the lightsaber battle, it just felt much more better, visceral, tightly paced, high speed action. Here with like every goddamn CG lava shit. There's no sense of threat. There's no sense of danger. When I watched The Raid 2, very different movie. And that film I have issues with. But that fight at the end in like the kitchen area, and you just see like going through glass, the hard hits, the tight pacing, fast movements, hitting the impacts of hitting the ground, hitting the counters. You get through the glass with where all the wine and stuff is at, the alcohol. Again, what I will say, what this prequel trilogy did do is make Obi-Wan Kenobi a badass. Again, it's weird that he says he has the high ground because Darth Maul had the high ground in Phantom Menace, and Obi-Wan did the flip. Maybe that was to goad him into doing that, so he could do this. There's where you definitely see more of the eyes. Take his lightsaber because he gives that to Luke later. I never really felt Anakin loved you though, dude. I never really felt that way. Again, just the way Hayden Christensen played the character, I never thought he gave much of a shit about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I did feel Ewan McGregor, his character, caring for Anakin. Not the other way around. I never felt that, so. But again, because Hayden Christensen's not that good of an actor. That's funny, R2-D2, you have nothing to say? I wonder if R2-D2 was watching the whole fucking time. Like, I don't know what's going on. Damn, we still have 18 minutes left? Well, I guess because we gotta wrap everything up. We gotta have the Emperor find Anakin and put him in the Vader suit. We gotta have the babies born and her die. I'm on all the other stuff. I'm sure the Emperor kind of wishes he had his Dooku now again. Or Darth Maul. Instead of this now. It's like, great, so I got a legless, one-arm apprentice. Get that sack of shit off my field. He's like, man, I just had you for not even a week. And look at this. You're all busted up. You're worthless to me. So yeah, Jimmy Smits is going to be, he's Organa, he's going to take Leia. And then that's his planet that gets blown up in A New Hope. And then of course Luke, Tatooine. But yeah, we pretty much get to the end of it. It's funny though that we have all these like depressing bits. You know, the birth of Darth Vader, the death of Padme, the rebels, you know, or is it the Empire taking over? As dire straits as can be. Oh god, that's right. I wanted to forget that, but yeah, we're going to have the. You know what's coming, folks. If you've seen this film, you know what's coming. And she just names them Luke and Leia. No thought into how those names came to be. What made her say Luke? What made her say Leia? Because, well, I know because I saw Empire Strikes Back on VHS. Because why not? I didn't remember. Leia's like, I remember my mom. Yeah, the babies are not even looking at the mom. God. And George Lucas is not like there were other people. George Lucas was the guy behind the shit. But he wants to fuck around. I give a shit. I think we have the late great James Earl Jones voicing Vader, of course, like he did in the original films. Rest in peace to James Earl Jones. You know, iconic actor, in my opinion. Again, the irony of it all, he caused the very thing that he did not want to happen. Even the Emperor said, "You caused it. It's your fault." I mean, he's right. He's not wrong. Yeah, the birth of the babies and the birth of Darth Vader. I'm still surprised. I mean, apparently in the trivia there was talks of putting a young Han Solo. I'm still surprised they didn't. It's rare James Earl Jones mentioning Padme, but I mean, of course. We'll wait till he does it. I'll wait till he does it. You know what's coming. This is what this whole day, like, with everything that's happened this whole day, this whole fucked up clusterfuck day, this is the word I'm thinking of. This is the word that just comes to mind. No. Why he thought. I mean, I'm sure as a writer he's thinking, well, yeah, he's going to say no. Be angry, exasperated, in turmoil. But just the way it's like, no. It's like you think of The Simpsons, Mendoza for McBain. I imagine it was like more of a girl, no, and he's just doing this, and he's like destroying like a whole fucking path, just pew 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 pew, or something like that. Like I mean, it's like that was the idea. He's just destroying stuff, but he's just like, no. Or he does like a punch, and the punch, cross, through multiple walls. So yeah, this is where Yoda says he's been talking to Qui-Gon. And this is where they're going to say they'll wipe the memories. So that's why they weren't destroyed. The memories were wiped, and there you go on that. So, because I forgot where the robots ended up. They ended up with over there with the good guys. I completely forgot. So they answered my question earlier as to how come they weren't destroyed. Well, there you go. Oh, there's Jar Jar Binks. I can imagine if people did not dislike Jar Jar Binks so much, what more they would have done with him in these other films. Would he still be limited like they were, or would he have more to do, more to say, more in terms of the plot? I don't know. Oh yeah, here you have the Peter Cushing character, isn't it? Grand Moff Tarkin? Yeah, on the left there, where he's walking away. I'm sure very briefly, because, up close shot you realize that's not Peter Cushing. I guess apparently they were thinking of using archival footage, but it's like, nah. Of course, then they did that CGI shit. What was it? A Rogue One. Of course, you have Leia here. And then you have Tatooine. Which actually, Uncle Owen here, I think is Joel Edgerton. Which he's been in a few films throughout the years. Warrior, among other stuff. He's not there yet, but... Yeah, this guy here, I think that's Joel Edgerton. And you have the twin sons. Yep, that's a very young Joel Edgerton. You have the two sons, which of course Luke will see in A New Hope. And there you go. And that's the Revenge of the Sith. So, with that said, thank you for joining me on this journey, topsy-turvy bullshit, where pretty much almost anything, I mean, the only thing that didn't happen is losing fucking power. But almost everything else fucking happened, so it was an adventure on itself. But yeah, the end of the prequels, as of now, I still think it's okay, it's watchable, but I never feel the need to rewatch it again. If I have to rewatch a prequel, it would be The Phantom Menace. I would rewatch it easily over the Disney Star Wars films. Ewan McGregor does a good job. The opening sequence with all the spaceships and the battle scenes, there's some excitement, stuff going on that could get you entertained. Cool to see like the Wookiees, in certain battles, things a little spaced out throughout it. I think the stuff between Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan, and General Grievous, favorite part of the film. Lightsaber battle, I just thought went on too long. And again, the whole prequel concept, knowing where it's leading, no surprises, and not giving a shit about the Anakin Skywalker character. That's really my biggest gripe is Anakin Skywalker, I think, sucks as a character. Never gave a fuck about him. Darth Vader, he's the villain, he's this and that. What they do, Return of the Jedi, okay, works for that movie. Do I need a whole fucking backstory on him in 3 movies? Not really. That's where I differ with other people. So take that for what you will. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.